Does your life ever feel more chaotic, more stressful than it used to? I know mine does. In the fast-paced, noisy, busy world that we live in, peace is a luxury, and sometimes it can feel like we just don't have time to slow down, to just be. But something that I've been learning recently and really being reminded of is it doesn't have to be this way. Many of the things that we've taken on, we can also put off. And sometimes it's even easier than you'd think. And so today I want to share with you a number of 1-minute habits that you can use to simplify your life, to reduce your mental load, to help you live less stressed, less overwhelmed, and more present and at peace. So getting right into this, something I've started doing that I found to be hugely helpful is to practice being with your thoughts. It can be really easy in the digital age that we live in to always be feeding our minds with something, whether it's a podcast, an audiobook, music, a video of some kind. But at a certain point, that noise becomes counterproductive. Instead of feeding our minds, we're really just trying to fill the silence, almost as if we're afraid just being with our thoughts. But that silence is so important in allowing us to process the world around us. It helps us feel more at peace, that sense of calm. Not to mention, it really allows our creativity to flourish. So the next time you're driving, maybe you're cooking dinner, or just in one of those in-between moments throughout your day, and you notice maybe you've had something on in the background for a while now, press pause, turn whatever you're listening to off, and just enjoy some quiet time or silence. I recently heard it described as thinking for pleasure, and I love that. You get to choose where your mind goes when you do this. So use the time intentionally to dream, to plan, to rest, whatever it is you need in that moment. Okay, then let's talk about another really quick one. Doesn't even take 60 seconds, just as long as you need to reframe your mindset, and that's to adopt an unhurried presence. Will stressing over something really make you less stressed? Or will rushing actually get things done any faster? Let me answer it for you. It won't. Really, the only thing that a busyness mindset gives us is the feeling of always being rushed, stressed, anxious, and behind. So what I've been practicing lately, really trying to adopt, is an unhurried presence. Not rushing to and fro, but trying to be deliberate and calm as I go about life. I'm still doing all the same things, just trying to approach them with a different mindset. It's a small shift, but I find that it makes such a difference in my mental and emotional headspace. And I find that it doesn't just impact me either, but also everyone around me who could feel the stress, the tension, the rushing in me. Now I will say, I am not perfect with this one. It is something that I am working towards, but I really am trying every time I notice myself getting into that stress, that rushing mode, just to take a second to step back, to reset my headspace, and to approach that thing, whatever it is, with a sense of deliberate calm. Then this next one is a simple one, but such an important one, and that's to put your phone down. I feel like the more research that I see, the more stories that I hear, and even just in my own experience, I can attest to, I feel like smartphones are just the accepted addiction of our generation. While there's unfortunately no quick fix to our phone addictions, something simple that you and I can do is just every time you notice yourself doom scrolling or wasting time on your phone, whenever you notice that, just make the conscious decision to put your phone down, and then get in the habit of doing that over and over and over again. What you'll find is through those thousands upon thousands of tiny decisions to put your phone down, you'll become more aware of your screen time usage, find that you're able to stop yourself earlier in that scrolling cycle, and slowly over time, you'll be able to build better screen time habits. Now I want to be clear, 1-minute habits can make such a difference in helping us to feel less stressed, more at peace, but often the problems that we're dealing with require more than a 1-minute fix. And sometimes, whether it's because what you're dealing with feels so overwhelming, or maybe you just don't even know where to start, we all need support. And that's where therapy can make such a difference. After taking a break from a while, I recently went back to therapy to help me navigate some anxiety and other struggles that I'd been walking through. I have to say, it has been so helpful having someone to walk alongside me, to offer guidance, support. I've been doing that with BetterHelp. I've actually got a session later today. They're kindly sponsoring today's video. If you've recently been walking through a season of stress or anxiety, BetterHelp can make a huge difference. And actually, the majority of BetterHelp members seek support with anxiety, and 69% of them report a noticeable difference in their anxiety in just 6 weeks of therapy with BetterHelp. What I really love about BetterHelp is It's easy to start. All you need to do is fill out a questionnaire, and BetterHelp will match you with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. I think mine took less than 24 hours. They carefully make sure all the therapists on their platform are well qualified. They have a great customer support team as well that can assist you with any questions. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. So let BetterHelp help you rule your anxiety so it doesn't rule you. To get started, just go to betterhelp.com/Ashlynne Eaton or click on the link in the description box below. When you do, that's going to get you 10% off your first month of therapy. So a big thank you again to BetterHelp for partnering with me on today's video. But now let's continue on with our next 60-second habit to simplify, and that's to clear one surface. Something that I've had to learn the hard way over the years is that there is such a strong link between visual calm and mental calm. When your space is tidy and organized, it really does help you to feel less stressed, more at peace. And so if you're going about your home, or maybe you're in the office and you notice maybe it's your bathroom counter or your kitchen island, your desk, you notice they're a mess, take a minute to tidy whatever that space is, throw out any trash, put back what doesn't belong, return order back to that surface. What you'll find is that it will likely only take a minute, but it really is an instant de-stressor, because now you'll be able to look at that space and see not a pile of things needing to be handled, but instead you're met with a peaceful visual environment that you can relax or be productive in. All right, but then this is another simple but powerful one, and that's to declutter in real time. Something that I've noticed that I have a bit of a tendency to do, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, is as I'm going about my life, if I see something that I know that I want to declutter, rather than just decluttering that item on the spot, I'll almost make a mental note of, oh, I need to deal with that later. But all that really does is postponing the problem while adding to my mental load of remembering that that's something that I want to do down the road. And so something really simple that I've started trying to do is just decluttering on the go. So if I'm in the closet getting dressed and notice a clothing item that I haven't worn in a long time, maybe I know that it doesn't fit and it's just sitting there hung up with the rest of my clothes, I'll set it aside to donate. Or if I'm in the kitchen trying to get something out of my utility drawer and notice a couple pieces of trash that have snuck their way in, I'll just take a second to throw them out, recycle the pieces of paper, whatever it is, just to deal with them on the spot. This sounds like such a simple piece of advice, right? But it really can go such a long ways towards helping you to maintain a decluttered, organized, and simple home. Now, I will throw in one little bonus tip with this one, especially for things like clothing items. I can often find that it's helpful to just have a box or a bin somewhere in your house that's basically dedicated for the things that you're wanting to let go of. You can just declutter on the go, wait for it to fill up, and then once it's full, at that point you can sort through it and figure out what you're wanting to donate, to sell, to gift, whatever, and to take action on those items at that time. Okay, then let's talk about something easy that you can do. That's just to unsubscribe from that marketing email that just came in. This is something that doesn't take long, but really allows you to curate your inbox to make sure that only the important emails are the ones that you're receiving that are coming in. Over time, as you curate it, it's going to help ensure that your email inbox is a place for focus, for productivity. Then another tiny habit that I find really helpful is to set it by the door. I don't know about you, but I always feel like I have this running pile of things that I need to remember to drop off to a friend the next time I see them, things that I'm needing to return. Something that I find helpful is, instead of wasting the mental energy on trying to remember that you need to return that item, to bring something back to someone, to remember, oh, I can't forget to bring this with me. What I like to do is just to set that thing, that bag, that food storage container, right by the door the morning before I leave, so that I'll literally trip on it walking out the door. That may sound a bit excessive, but that way I know it will get brought with me, and I don't need to worry about it when I'm trying to get out the door in the morning with a baby, amongst all the other just life things that I need to bring with me. Then along those lines, something else that I like to do is to set reminders or alarms. I use these for pretty much everything. Whether it's I want to set a reminder to follow up and text someone who we've been having a conversation about something. I have a weekly reminder to water my plants. It's so helpful. You can add a time, a date to it. But it's just another one of those small things that you can do to help reduce your mental load and to make it so that you don't have this ongoing massive list of tasks and to-dos that you need to stay on top of. Wipe down a surface. The next time that you're walking by and notice a mirror with smudges all over it or a surface covered in a layer of dust, instead of ignoring it or adding it to your mental to-do list, just take 30 seconds to wipe it down. I promise it's going to provide an instant feeling of satisfaction just seeing the dirt, the dust, the grime wipe away. It will be taken care of, and once again, you noticing a theme yet here, it will keep one more thing just from being added to your mental checklist. And then a great one, if you want to feel instantly just that much better, is to do a 1-minute stretch. Maybe you're feeling a bit stressed, you notice all of a sudden that your shoulders are tense. Take a minute and do this with me. Relax your shoulders, release the tongue from the top of your mouth, unclench your jaw, take a deep breath and hold it for 1, 2, 3. Now exhale. And then just take a second to loosen up, to stretch anywhere that you feel tightness. Maybe it's your back, your shoulders, your neck. Even something as small as just a few seconds of stretching and deep breathing can provide an instant sense of release. All right, then something that I've personally found a lot of benefit in is in reducing my news media consumption. This could look like a lot of things. I feel like everyone gets their news a little bit differently. Maybe it looks like turning off the news, unsubscribing from any news channels that you follow on social media, deleting news-related apps. Let's talk the why for a second. I came to the realization several years ago that consuming the news regularly just isn't good for my mental headspace. It makes me feel down, have a more negative outlook on life, and it really never contributed all that much positively. And so I really haven't habitually consumed news media for several years now, and I'll tell you this, I haven't missed it. In fact, I've noticed that I feel happier and more positive for it. Now don't hear what I'm not saying with this. I don't live in a hole. I still hear what's going on in the world. People talk. I hear about all the important things. I've just chosen to adopt the philosophy and to take the approach that if something is important enough for me to need to know about it, that I'm going to find out. Someone's going to mention it to me. I'll see it online somewhere. And at that point, I can, when I'm in a good headspace to be able to deal with that, I can seek out more information on that topic and do my own research. That way I can stay informed because there are things that are important enough for me to need to know about, but it does really help ensure that I'm not just constantly being inundated with the sad, depressing stories that make up so much of the news. So really this one is just all about trying to protect my personal sense of peace, my mental headspace. But then another great habit to get into is to write it down. Maybe you can relate to the experience of trying to fall asleep but almost feeling like your brain is fighting against you as it's spiraling, trying to remember all of the tasks and to-dos that you need to get done the following day. Or maybe you're trying to focus on something for work, but your mind is trying to solve a problem that's completely unrelated. Especially when I know that I have a busy day ahead of me, or my mind is trying to work through a specific problem, or I'm just trying to focus and to get things done even. Something that I like to do before bed or before diving into deep work is just to take 60 seconds and to write out a to-do list or whatever really is on my mind. What I found is there really is a kind of magic in getting thoughts out of our head and onto paper. Like in our minds, we know, okay, I've written this down, so I'm not going to forget it. This is taken care of, so now we can focus, we can rest without those thoughts, those to-dos just replaying on repeat in our heads. If you've never done this before, try it out. This is one of those things that has been an absolute game changer for me. And then one little annoyance that you can remove from your life right now is to go into your notifications and to turn off that one notification that's been bugging you. I'm firmly on board team only notifications that matter, because we already have enough impulses and reminders to check our phone. We don't need the unnecessary ones. So if maybe I mentioned this and something came to mind for you, or just the next time you receive a notification that you think to yourself, you know, I didn't really need to know that, take those few seconds, turn off that notification. It's just one less distraction in your life. And then we're getting to the end here. Another great habit that you can practice is to just not sweat the small stuff. In life, there are things that matter and there are things that really don't. And sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the stuff that doesn't. So something that I find helpful is whenever I feel myself getting caught up in stress or annoyance over something, I just like to ask myself, does this matter? And if it doesn't, choosing to let go of my expectations, my worries, my anxieties around that thing. And honestly, that's been really freeing in allowing me to really focus on what's important. And something practical you can do is to put put that item back that always gets forgotten. Maybe this looks like putting your reusable grocery bags back in your car after you've finished using them. Hi, that's me. Maybe that's restocking snacks in your diaper bag. Again, calling myself out here. Whatever this looks like for you, I feel like this is again one of those ones that's a bit different for everyone. But when you see that thing and think to yourself, oh, I need to remember to fill in the blank here, chances are you'll spend as much time thinking about that thing as it would take just to actually do it. So the next time that thought occurs to you, just take action. And continuing our conversation around notifications, let's end this with another easy way that you can simplify your digital environment, and that's to mute or leave a group chat. Fewer notifications equals fewer distractions. So just mute any group chats that aren't pertinent. You can go back and catch up on them when you choose to, when you have time. As someone who's in a lot of group chats, I feel like I can safely say you're probably not going to be missing anything. All right, well, I hope that these 1-minute habits have given you some practical ideas for ways that you can simplify your life. But now I'd love to hear from you. What are some of the habits that you like to practice to reduce your mental load, to live less stressed and more present? Be sure to let me know what those are in the comments below. I love when we can learn from each other. A quick reminder too to check out our sponsor, BetterHelp, if you haven't already. Sponsors like BetterHelp really do help make this channel possible. So always appreciate when you check them out, give them some love. But as always, friends, thank you so much for watching, for being here, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye, friends.